Welcome to the channel about news from around the world. While you subscribe and like it, we're going to start. The Chinese teased beautifully and gave Beijing a cold shower. If there is one thing the Chinese are good at, it is their sense of dignity. Beijing knows how to stand up for themselves and always responds to their opponent's rudeness. But not with rudeness itself. Instead, they respond with elegant protocol jabs that carry considerable weight in world politics. Remember when Mrs. von der Leyen criticized China and lectured about life in the Middle Kingdom? Just a few days later, she traveled to Beijing for talks, and the Chinese demonstrated to her the intricacies of diplomatic protocol. First, they sent the ministers of her entourage to meet with her, then refused to hold a joint press conference with her and allocated a small room for her to answer questions from Western journalists alone. And to top it all off, they humiliated her by sending her home through a regular airport terminal with baggage screening. Minister Blinken is currently in Beijing. Incidentally, he is the first U.S. Secretary of State to visit China in 5 years, which suggests that there are good reasons behind the decision to end the long-running series of visits. Firstly, the U.S. categorically dislikes Russia's alliance and the formation of alternative political and economic structures based on BRICS. It is likely that Mr. Blinken has come to drive a wedge between Moscow and Beijing, hoping to resolve issues with each separately. But secondly, the issues of Taiwan's expansion and the U.S. military presence in Southeast Asia remain unresolved. The formation of a global NATO under American auspices is also a concern. There are many topics for discussion, however. Can they continue to do so indefinitely? That is the big question. The Chinese have shown that they are not to be trifled with. They teased Blinken elegantly during his visit. Photographs capture the meeting between the Chinese and Macron, Blinken at the bottom and Macron at the top. There were no motorcades, no red carpets, no guard of honor, nothing. Everything was just like in the movies. Blinken was left gritting his teeth and smiling reluctantly, if you could even call it that. Meanwhile, the American media enjoyed the details of the protocol. Journalists noticed a red line at the airport that Blinken had to cross. It symbolized the tensions between the countries and was said to hint that the Secretary of State was an undesirable figure in China. Thank you for watching. If you're interested, subscribe and leave a comment.